Here we go with the lineup then for the first race of the night here in Horsens. Antonio Lindback going off the inside in red. Niels Christian Iversen going off gate 2 in blue, a home favourite here. Andreas Jonsson gate 3 in white. And going off the outside in the yellow helmet colour, the reigning champion, Ty Woffinden, scored a maximum in the Swedish League on Tuesday night for Venlander. Also scored 15 points for Wroclaw in the Polish League last Sunday, so comes here to Horsens in good shape. But will gate 4 work for Woffinden in the very first race of the evening? Glorious sunshine, a little bit chilly in the shade, but conditions just about ideal for the start here of the 2016 Kjærgaard Danish FIM Speedway Grand Prix. Jesper Steentoft is our referee. Finger on the button, ready for action. Heat number 1. Great start from Lindback off the inside gate. Woffinden tries to switch from the outside. It's a lovely move from Woffinden. Lindback has the lead. Woffinden comes through into second. It was a very clever move from the reigning champion. But now Iversen's gone around the outside. Iversen's got lots of speed, and he's now hunting down Antonio Lindback with the outside run, and Woffinden coming back for more.
It didn't work so well in turns 1 and 2. It worked very well going into turns 3. Lindback off the inside, made full use of it, got himself to the front. You rightly say, Nigel, it was the move in the first corner from the world champion, but he wasn't quite able to hang on to second place because Iversen then pounced. But Lindback, who's enjoying 2 strong Grand Prix in the opening rounds, is looking very impressive in front here.
Yeah, Lindback back in the Grand Prix series this year with 20 points under his belt. That's only 6 off the lead in the World Championship. And it's a fine ride from the Swede from gate number 1 to get us underway, with Iversen in second place, Woffinden in third, and Andreas Jonsson, who has made 1 or 2 changes, we're told, in the build-up to this meeting. He trails in at the back, but it's a fine ride from Lindback. Made the start superbly. Woffinden briefly with that switch up the inside, similar to what he did in the final in Warsaw in the last round. But then Iversen was able to pass him superbly and claim second place. But Lindback immaculate from that inside gate. Confirmation of the result of the first race of the night. Lindback the winner with Iversen second, Woffinden was third, and Andreas Jonsson at the back.
Yeah, decent opening ride from Lindback. He'll be pleased with that. Always nice to get off to a good start. 3 points to his name, and once again the inside gate certainly worked very well. A bit of chat between the team, of course, but bike setup looked pretty good. They have actually ripped the outside of the gate. You can see there the start line where they have dug it up a little bit, but the inside gate worked well. Slick on the inside of the track there. Woffinden momentarily did that switch back. He's in second place here, but Iversen makes that move around the outside early in the race to pounce and get himself into second place. It's a little bit greasy. They've had to water heavily, and I suspect that 1 or 2 of the riders may be a little concerned with that early on in the meeting, but Lindback won't be. 3 points, a nice win.
Yeah, superb from Lindback, and I can tell you that they have actually been putting water down on the track here at 2, 3 o'clock in the morning over the last couple of weeks, purely because of the fact that it's been so hot here in Jutland, which is unusual, it has to be said. It really was quite unusual. How many times have we been up the road at Voyens and it's rained? And thankfully, the second time on the trot here, we've got glorious sunshine here in Horsens.
We have indeed, but plenty of work going on here with bike changes for riders coming out. Hancock changed his, Smarslik again. A few last-minute tweaks to the equipment prior to the race getting underway. Hancock as good as ever. His form in the leagues is rock solid, and there's no question he will be a force here.
Bartosz Smarslik, another rider who is absolutely on fire right now. He goes off the inside in red. Chris Harris of Great Britain, gate 2 in blue. Greg Hancock, 3 times world champion, gate 3 in white. And Anders Thompson, the wild card, he's in yellow. And an interesting selection when you bear in mind that you have Mikkel Mikkelsen, Mikkel B. Jensen as reserves tonight. You have Hans Andersen, who's not included in this meeting, who's won World Cups and won Grand Prix, of course. So, big moment for Anders Thompson, and maybe a bit of pressure as well.
It will be. He'll be nervous from the outside gate. This is a tough ask for him. In at the deep end, I would suggest.
And that's a good start from Hancock off gate 3. Trademark Greg Hancock locks up with Smarslik up the inside, and now Anders Thompson in yellow is coming around the outside and really having a go here, the Dane, the wild card. Killerman, Chris Harris, sorry, is at the back right now, and Thompson is coming through. but now Smarslik is going to take him wide to the fence. That was a ruthless move from Bartosz Smarslik in red.
It was indeed, he had to be, because the outside run is working well. Hancock made his textbook start away from gate 3, looks good. Harris is working overtime at the back. It is quite wet in the first corner and it's a little greasy, but out in front the American is silky smooth. Smarslik is coming on strong in second place, putting the American under pressure. Thompson now has just drifted back in third place, but the action's up front.
Yeah, Smarslik very, very fast right now, putting Greg Hancock under pressure, but the old master sees him off in fine style. Greg Hancock, who since our last Grand Prix turned 46 years of age and still riding as well as ever. He's one of the fastest starters in the world, and that was a great ride from Greg Hancock from gate number 3. Has he got a 4th world title in him? Well, he believes he has, and I think most people believe he has.
Well, you've got to take it seriously. He's once again challenging for the championship. He's just 2 points out of the lead coming into tonight's meeting, and he rode impressively in Heat 2.
Yeah, Hancock the winner with Smarslik second, Thompson was third, and Chris Harris at the back. Greg Hancock the winner, but Smarslik the man on form as well, pushing him all the way late on there.
Yeah, and Smarslik had to work hard to get rid of the attentions of Anders Thompson, who was threatening on the opening couple of laps. Hancock, no surprise to see him making the start. He's renowned for that. He makes that first corner his. Smarslik was then trapped on the inside of Thompson, who looked like for a moment he was going to get the better of the Polish man. But Smarslik has been around a little while now, and it's tough out there in Grand Prix, and Anders Thompson felt the full effects of Mr. Smarslik. There's no question of that. But Hancock just gesturing there to Smarslik for 3 points to his name, coming out of gate 3, the ideal start.
Yeah, Greg Hancock riding in his 194th Grand Prix tonight. He's only ever missed one since the Grand Prix started 21 years ago now.
Remarkable.
It is a remarkable record. We build up to race number 3. We have the series leader in this race, Chris Holder, going in the white helmet colour then from gate number 3. Here we see Nicky Pedersen. He was asked the question yesterday, you've never won a Grand Prix in Denmark. Other guys, Killerman, Iversen, the Danish guys have won Grand Prix here. Nicky Pedersen with a great response. Well, I've won 3 world titles and they haven't.
Great answer, and pretty much laid it to bed there, didn't he, that question. Chris Holder has been riding brilliantly in the Grand Prix so far. Piotr Pawlicki just making his way round to the start after another few adjustments.
Yep, here we go. Off the inside, then it is Piotr Pawlicki. Matti Zegar goes off gate number 2 in blue. Chris Holder, gate 3 in white. And Nicky Pedersen going off the outside in the yellow helmet colour. That gate number 4 didn't work for Woofenden in the opening race. Can Nicky Pedersen make it work off the outside? And what about the series leader, Chris Holder? But this World Championship is so tight, so bunched up. It really is hard to predict who is going to prevail and win this world title this year. Everybody taking points off one another. It is fascinating. Race number 3. Here we go. Great start from Pawlicki on the inside. Oh, the red lights are on straight away.
Well, I think he may be a bit unlucky there.
Well, Jesper Steentoft immediately put the red lights on and the flags came out before they got to the first turn. It is all 4 riders back.
I'd like to see that again, Nigel. May have moved a little early, but be interesting to see if he actually moved before the tapes go. Here we go, concentrating. Oh yeah, he does go early.
Great decision.
Go early. Super decision by the referee. See, this is the great angle. Yeah, it goes a little early. Doesn't really need to do that on the inside because the inside is an advantage at this track.
Yeah.
The right decision.
Yep, you can see it clearly there. Piotr Pawlicki, the talented young Pole, and his first full season of Grand Prix Speedway. We see Adam Skornicki there, who is in charge of Leszno these days, and Pawlicki from Leszno.
Yeah.
And we'll be back for heat number 3 with all 4 riders. But Pawlicki certainly the man that caused that race to be pulled back.
Just a general chat about the lineup, Nigel, this year. It is a mouth-watering lineup. Probably only Emil Sayfutinov missing from this year's Grand Prix lineup, who would probably add to the strength of the Grand Prix.
But Emil's been out injured.
He has, and unfortunately it is a tough sport, and injuries are part and parcel of it. Nicky Pedersen, who has been working extremely hard to get his equipment up to standard, not satisfied with his performances in the opening weeks of the season. he'll be looking to turn his form around. I'm sure, although he hasn't won a Grand Prix in Denmark, he'd dearly love to. I remember Michael Jepsen Jensen denying him in Voyens on the last lap, in actual fact, when it looked very much it was on the cards for a Nicky victory that night. He's got gate 4 in the opening race. Holder's been exceptional, 48 seconds, 47, we've got countdown with Pawlicki again.
Is he under power, or is he in trouble here?
He's not making his way. Bike now being pushed away. It is greasy. The first few races, Nigel, it's been greasy out there because they had to really put a lot of water on the track. Half the track, or 2/3 of the track, is bathed in sunshine still, so it is going to be imperative to try and get away or make a move early in the races at this early stage of the Grand Prix.
So heat number 3, second time of asking. Piotr Pawlicki, the man who got that start and too quick, it was pulled back straight away. Jesper Steentov, the red light on immediately, the tapes went up. He spotted Pawlicki's move, so we'll do it all again here. Heat number 3, second time of asking here in Horsens, the Casa Arena in Denmark. That's a good start from Pawlicki this time, and a perfectly legal one, but Holder switching up the inside. What a move! Watch out for Pedersen now, watch out for Zagar!
Brilliant.
What a move from Matti Zagar in blue. Pedersen putting him in under all sorts of pressure. Holder's not done yet either. He's in 3rd place, Pawlicki at the back, but that was a sensational move from Matti Zagar in blue.
Steen down the back straight, fired himself to the front. Holder looked like he had that, but as they went down the back straight, he got beaten up there with Nicky Pedersen also coming through. Holder's riding right round the inside, beginning to put Pedersen under pressure, but Zagar, so disappointing in the opening round in his own country, bounced back to form last time in Warsaw. He's looking majestic out in front here. Such a good-looking rider on the motorbike when he's in top form. Looking good here.
Yeah, Zagar's on his way to victory. What a move from the Slovenian that was. Pedersen has to keep inside to block the challenge of Holder. Nicky Pedersen second, Chris Holder was third, and Piotr Pawlicki at the back, and all the action there in the first half a lap, really. It was drama, and what a move it was from Matti Zagar.
Yeah.
Down that back straight, he spotted the gap. Pedersen was going for a gap as well. Yeah, they were all at it at one stage.
They were all in it down the back straight, Nigel. They were 3 abreast at least. Zagar found the speed, fired himself to the front. Very impressive in front.
Yep, certainly was. So the result, Matti Zagar the winner, Nicky Pedersen second. Chris Holder was third, and Piotr Pawlicki at the back. And Pedersen needs a good one tonight.
He does.
Nicky Pedersen in his home country. Because right now Nicky Pedersen finds himself in 11th spot in the World Championship, and he's a much better rider than that.
Indeed he is. We see early doors here with Pawlicki making the start initially, but then Holder cuts to the inside. But look at that 4 abreast in actual fact, but Zagar has that extra little bit of speed because he squares the corner off coming out of gate 2. He allows the bike to run up to that slightly grippier place. Split second decision that just opens up beautifully for him. He gets underneath Holder down the back straight. Nicky Pedersen followed him through. As hard as Holder tried round the inside, just couldn't battle his way back into second place. Good speedway from Zagar though. He'll be pleased with that. A strong start to tonight's meeting for him.
Yes, Matti Zagar on his day, a class act.
Yes.
3 Grand Prix victories under his belt from 67 GPs, and this man, world champion 3 times, Nicky Pedersen, who is box office wherever he goes, 16 GP wins, and it's his 160th Grand Prix tonight in a glittering career for Nicky Pedersen. We move on to heat number 4 now, and we have last year's winner of the Horsens Grand Prix in this race. It's Doyle off the inside, Janowski on 2, Fredrik Lindgren, who is an injury replacement for Jarek Hampel, but he's in the top 8 of the World Championship. He's 7th right now. And last year's winner here in Horsens, Peter Killerman, is going off the outside in yellow.
And a dramatic winner at that. He really did have an up and down night. He was off the bike as much as he was on it. And incredibly, he came through to win the first Grand Prix in his own country here. And his own, in truth, his own first-time winner coming out last year. Was very spectacular. Doyle has been up and down so far. Great Grand Prix opening round and then disappointing last time. Lindgren's been pretty solid so far.
Heat number 4. Good start from Doyle off the inside gate. Janowski tries the inside run. Lindgren's going high and wide. Killerman is in the mix as well. Down that back straight, here comes Lindgren now. But Doyle goes wide. That allows the opportunity for Janowski to charge up the inside in blue. Lindgren's still very much on the pace, and Peter Killerman is at the back.
He is indeed. Great move from Janowski to get the better of the Swede. Lindgren, he files himself into second place. Once again, the inside gate is working well for Doyle. Doyle's away out in front. Janowski now coming under pressure from Lindgren. Lindgren's not out of this. It's a real good tussle for second and third, with Kilderman, last year's winner, out the back. That's disappointing for him. Doyle, though, very strong in front. He's dominating heat 4.
Jason Doyle only managed 5 points in Warsaw. He's had 1 or 2 injury problems as well so far this season, but he's pretty convincing here in only his second full season of GP Speedway. He's got the victory in heat number 4. That means every rider has now completed 1 ride here in Denmark tonight in this Grand Prix, and it was a fine ride from Jason Doyle. Did all the work from tapes to checkered flag. The Australian, world number 5, and scoring 3 points in that ride. And as I say, in the last GP, only managed 5 all night. So 4 races completed, and the result of heat number 4 looks like this. It's a win for Jason Doyle. Magic Janowski was second. Freddie Lindgren was third. Peter Killerman at the back. And the race winners so far are Greg Hancock, Jason Doyle, Matti Zagar and Antonio Lindback. Riders out on the track, ready to go. And what a lineup we have for heat number 5. This is mouth-watering for sure. Peter Killerman with some frantic work going on with his machine after his last place and his opening ride. And we have also...
Smarslick's bikes, once again, they are a little uncertain of bike setup, Nigel, because 2 bikes on the track, both are running. Dialogue with the crew, and there's no doubt that the track conditions must be slightly different from what they encountered like yesterday, because Hancock, he changed his bike prior to the first race, and Smarslick may have done the same there, you know. So quite clearly looking to try and find the right setup, gambling on changing the bike early.
Freddie Lindgren watching on. He's done pretty well as a last-minute replacement for Jarek Hampel, who is still not fit after that injury about a year ago now. It's obviously a nasty one, a badly broken leg for Jarek Hampel, and still not right. Heat 5 coming up. Peter Killerman then looking for his first points of the night off the inside in gate number 1. Antonio Lindback, a winner first time out very impressively off gate 2 in blue. Bartosz Smarslik, the Polish sensation, off gate number 3 in white. And Chris Holder goes off the outside in yellow, now level with Greg Hancock at the top of the World Championship. What a lineup this one is, Kelvin.
It is. Tasty lineup, as you rightly say. Lindback was very impressive first time out. Holder, I would think, is under pressure to try and get as much as he can out of the outside gate here. Any points, I think, will be a bonus. Kilderman on the inside, having had gate 4 in the previous heat, needs a heat win, I think. Needs to take advantage of it.
5. Better start this time from Killerman. Oh, it's very tight there. And what a switch that is from the man on the outside, Chris Holder. And Killerman comes round the outside with a sensational swoop. Now here comes Lindback up the inside of Holder. Oh, is he going to take him to the fence? This is Rufus and Smarslik now. Back up the inside too. Holder's been beaten up. He comes back up the inside and retakes the third.
Well, here comes Lindback up the inside of Kilderman. Brilliant move from the Swedish man. Where did he come from? Kilderman looked like he had it under control, but Antonio Lindback, who looked hugely impressive in his first ride, is even more so in his second. Out by the outside, a lap to go. Lindback really riding the wheels of his motorbike tonight. Kilderman in second place. Holder's been relegated to the back. Brilliant speedway.
No stopping Antonio Lindback there, was there? I thought he lost control of the bike a little bit. Gets that win. Killerman is not happy. He's taken Lindback down. He's taken Lindback down after the race.
Not sure it was intentional, Nigel.
No.
Antonio
He's
Lindback
apologising now. He's apologising now.
Did shut the throttle off very quickly there. I'm not sure he's apologising.
No, he put his hand up. I thought it was to apologise.
Well, Lindback did shut the throttle off very early as he went over the finish line. Kilderman was racing all the way to the checkered flag. Here they come. Look, he shuts off early there, and Kilderman's got no choice. It's not intentional. No malice in that for me.
Yeah, I thought he'd put his hand up to apologise initially.
Limback, what a ride though. Bit of shenanigans afterwards.
This is after the race, for goodness sake.
The move earlier in the race was spectacular, and the meeting burst into life in Heat 5. There's no doubt about that.
But Limback lost control of the bike when he made the pass on Killerman, did he not?
Well, just momentarily. Fortunately, he was able to regain control in the nick of time. Got himself to the front and stayed there. Great ride from the Swedish man.
Yeah, what you didn't see on the shot was Killerman putting his hand up in the air. I thought it was to apologise, but clearly not. Anyway, Limback on 6 points. He is the leader to 6 out of 6. Super ride from him. And Bartosz Marslik moving on to 3 points now.
Yeah.
Chris Holder ended up at the back there after challenging for the lead at one stage.
It was a dramatic heat, and Antonio Limback was in the thick of it. Kilderman was as well. Kilderman looked like he had the race in his back pocket, and there's no question that Kilderman here off the inside made a much better start. He got to the first corner, pushed Limback very wide. That allows Holder to get to the inside, but Kilderman has the speed around the outside on the opening lap.
He's lost the control there.
Just lifts momentarily, and that forces Kilderman wide, but the Swede keeps the throttle wide open. See it there, just lifting, but just about regains control in the time, because he could have then actually taken Kilderman out. Kilderman then takes Limback out after the checkered flag. I do think they'll be mates a little bit later on. I get the feeling it was not intentional, but Limback's got 6 points out of 6, and although he's fired up, he should be pleased with that.
Heat number 6 coming up. Well, that was lively, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was.
Anyway.
It was lively here last year as well, Nigel, if you remember. It was really entertaining stuff.
Now, Maciej Janowski goes off the inside in red. Piotr Pawlicki goes off gate number 2. Niels Christian Iversen off 3. Can Hancock make the start off 4 and carve up the opposition once again? It's so unpredictable, this World Championship. The series leader before tonight, Chris Holder, is now just on 1 point from 2 rides this evening, and that is typical of the way this World Championship is going.
Absolutely, it's so difficult to call. People asking me today in town about who's going to win tonight. Who do you fancy? I fancy Ty Wolfenden as it goes, but such a hard call, such a wide-open championship.
He's number 6 it is. Janowski from the inside gate has made a good one. Pawlicki is there as well. Hancock can't get there so far, and Iversen is going to go around the outside here now in white. Niels Christian Iversen is battling with Hancock for 3rd place. Oh, punching up here. Pawlicki in blue, Janowski in red, Iversen in white. They're all bunching up down the back straight. This is great stuff.
Fabulous Speedway. Pawlicki coming through to the front. Janowski now coming under pressure from Hancock, who's got himself to 3rd, but Iversen, look at that! Oh, rest! Out of shape! Certainly Pawlicki's gone from the front to the back in the blink of an eye. Out in front, Janowski riding strongly. Hancock somehow has found himself in 2nd. Iversen back in the 3rd. Fabulous racing here.
Hancock's not done yet, but Janowski, I think, has got enough in hand. Riding a nice line here in the red helmet colour. Hancock will be delighted with 5 points from 6 after being at the back at one stage there. He came through brilliantly, and a super ride in heat number 6. And a good race as well. It's getting lively, it's getting entertaining for sure.
Well, that was thoroughly entertaining, Nigel, because they were changing places throughout. Pawlicki hit the front and then got relegated to the back in a lap. And Janowski showed great composure to hang on to the lead. And in truth, Maciej Janowski has started strongly tonight. And he's got 5 points from 2 rides. He looks good.
You cannot relax even when you have the lead here. Janowski on 5, Hancock on 5, Iversen on 3 now, and Piotr Pawlicki has yet to score, and he was leading that race. It's so typical of this World Championship and, you know, the competitive nature of the racing here. Even when you're in the lead, you cannot afford to relax.
Well, and that was demonstrated clearly in this race. Heat number 6, with initially on the inside, you've got Janowski making the start. Pawlicki there pushing his compatriot really hard with Hancock out the back, and Iversen, look at this. This is midway through the race, and Pawlicki just lifts at the wrong moment, momentarily loses control of the bike. Seeing him here in front in the blue helmet colour with Janowski in red. Janowski rides very calmly out in front. Pawlicki just a little overexcited. Hancock coming through for 2nd place. Really entertaining speedway race.
Had a bit of controversy. We've had a rider effectively knocked off after a race.
I think we're going to have a race jacket change here, Nigel. We've got a mechanic coming out here.
Jason Doyle in a red race jacket when he needs to be in blue. So that is part of the regulations in the Speedway GP.
This is going to be quite a challenge with the helmet on.
Well, you can actually, if I know those race jackets correctly, you can unclip the shoulders. I believe you could unclip the shoulders, but he has got advertising logos over it. Would he get excluded if he kept that race jacket on?
Well, he's walked away now with the blue race jacket, so that hasn't worked, so he's going to go with the red one. Be interesting to see what the referee makes of that.
I'm not sure of the rule on that one, I'll be honest.
No, I'm the same. I'm none the wiser on that.
If it was the helmet colour, he'd be excluded.
Yes, he's got the blue helmet on.
He will not be excluded. OK, Matty Zegaard, Jason Doyle, Chris Harris and Andreas Jonsson. Remind me to bring a rule book to the next GP. Fortunately, I don't know the Speedway rule book off the top of my head.
There's a lot of rules in there, Nigel.
Just a few.
There's no doubt about that. Matty Zegaard on the inside. What an impressive winner first time out. Doyle also. 2 heat winners going head-to-head in gates 1 and 2. Something's got to give.
Yep, heat number 7 it is. Good start from Zegaard off the inside gate. Now at the inside is Chris Harris. The man in yellow is Andreas Jonsson coming hard around the outside.
Oh.
Jason Doyle now swoops up the inside of Chris Harris, but Zegaard is looking good here. And now Jonsson charging hard. We've got a race on here between Jonsson and Zegaard. Doyle is third, Harris going wide, but Zegaard looking good here under pressure.
Yeah, he is indeed. Just real force of coming from Andreas Jonsson. Jason Doyle got it all wrong with Harris momentarily into third place. Zegaard out in front again, looking silky smooth. I thought for a moment Jonsson was going to get the better of the Slovenian, but not to be. Zegaard's on top form tonight, looking really sweet out in front. Jonsson settled for second. Look out for Doyle. Doyle running high and wide, but Zegaard's got this, Nige.
Yeah, he is looking superb. 6 points out of 6. And before tonight, in the Grand Prix Series, Zegaard was 9th with 18 points. He's got 6 already here tonight for the man who rides for the Bellevue Aces in the British Elite League at their new stadium, the National Speedway Stadium, which hosts the Speedway World Cup on the 29th and 30th of July, the race-off and the grand final. And looking forward to that event, Voyens Event 1, Vastavik Event 2, and then Bellevue. Zegaard, the race winner, immaculate. Under pressure from Jonsson, who looked to have a bit of speed there. And third, Jason Doyle, with Harris at the back. And Zegaard now one of 2 riders on 6 points apiece, alongside Antonio Limbach.
Yeah, very impressive again, Zegaard. Limbach and Zegaard unbeaten so far. And when Zegaard's in the mood, he is a sight to behold. He's got a classy style, and he shows it to very good effect here. Inside gate working well. Riders chopping back from the outside, particularly Harris. Jonsson here early doors is really threatening. Jason Doyle making that small mistake. Shame we don't see Jonsson putting Zegaard under pressure earlier in the race. At this stage, the Swedish rider is now settled in second place. But Matty Zegaard was comfortable in front. 6 out of 6, 2 wins to his name. He'll be pleased with that, very pleased.
Just to flag up heat number 9 for you as well, which will come up after a grading break. You have Greg Hancock in that one, and you also have Limbach and Zegaard off gates 3 and 4, the 2 unbeaten riders.
Yeah.
And throw Freddie Lindgren in the mix as well. Quite a lineup for heat 9. But before we get there, we're up to heat number 8 here, and we have the reigning champion Ty Woofenden off the inside gate in red. Wore an England football shirt for his pre-meeting interviews here tonight to show his support for his country in the Euros. Gate number 2 is Anders Thompson, the wild card. Nicky Pedersen, gate 3 in white. And off the outside in yellow, Fredrik Lindgren of Sweden, 1 point from his opening ride.
Yeah, and it won't be easy from the outside. We've seen it so far in the opening heats. The outside gates are proving to be a bit of a challenge. Woofenden, the world champion, on the inside. He had gate 4 and just picked up the solitary point. So, again, he needs to be taking advantage of that because he'll have another outside gated doubling up later on. So, 3 points should be on the cards for him. Anders Thompson, who was a surprise, in my opinion, as a wild card tonight. He'll be looking to get amongst the points this time.
Heat number 8 here in Denmark. Woofenden's made a good start up, and so has Pedersen off gate number 3. A magnificent start. Woffenden up the inside now. He takes Pedersen, and now Pedersen's coming up the inside. This is a good race, and Woffenden's been taken wide.
Oh!
And now it's getting all very tight, and going down is a wild card. Anders Thompson. We're going to have the race stopped here.
Wow, Lindgren was tough there. That was a big move from Freddie Lindgren on the wild card. There's no doubt about that. It was a big move from Pedersen up front. And then the battle for third and fourth was also being hotly contested on the opening lap there. Jesper Steentoft will want to watch this again. We've got Pedersen there now. Here we see Freddie Lindgren coming up the inside of... Was there contact? Can't quite see from that angle. Lindgren up the inside here. Does he just touch his front wheel? It must have been awfully close.
Well,
big decision now. Anders Secker, the previous national team manager here, of course, is in Anders Thompson's corner tonight. We'll see another replay, I'm sure.
Yes, the new Danish team manager, by the way, is the legendary Hans Nielsen. Good to see him here tonight.
See it again, Nigel. Freddie Lindgren up the inside of Anders Thompson. From that angle, you can't really see whether there's any contact. Thompson has to bail out of the bike. He doesn't do that by choice. Does the dirt deflector just clip the front wheel? I'm not sure it does, you know.
We are hearing Lindgren is out. Jesper Steentoft, the referee, we are hearing is excluding Freddie Lindgren. Well, Lindgren will be fuming with that, I'm quite sure. Has he got the message yet? Has he been told? I think it was a tough call.
I don't know if it's the right one, in truth.
If there's no contact, it's not the right decision, is it?
Very difficult to see if there was any contact. I was looking to see if the dirt deflector flipped up on the back of Lindgren's bike. Didn't really appear to do that. The angle we've got is not that good to see whether there's contact.
He thinks he's still in the race. He's not been told yet.
I can see that he'll be very frustrated with this. Here's the action up front. Can't really see that there. So difficult. He is hard on Thompson, there's no doubt about that. He comes up the inside, but Grand Prix, does he touch him there? Very difficult to tell. I think Lindgren's been a little bit unlucky there.
Well, Anders Thompson is back in, and the rider in yellow, Fredrik Lindgren, excluded by Jesper Steentoft, our referee here.
Guaranteed a point now, of course, if the bike keeps running and he doesn't drop it. A controversial decision, and one of those situations where a tough call for the referee, there's no doubting that, but I'm not sure it's the right one. I don't know if he just kind of bailed out or whether he was just running out of room, but nonetheless, just 3 men in the rerun. Very big move by Pedersen down the back straight early on to get the better of the world champion. He forced up underneath the inside of Woffenden, and this track just tends to lend itself somehow for riders riding so close together. We had it last year, and we've got evidence of similar sort of dramatic scenes second time around in 2016.
Well, a controversial decision by the referee, of that there is no doubt.
Yep.
Freddie Lindgren has, we understand, been on the phone to the referee to have a little chat about that decision. Antonio Lindback is with Steve Brandon.
Antonio, 2 rides, 2 wins, and quite a bit of excitement at the end of the last one.
Yeah, you know, like 2 wins is good, you know, feeling good out there, but yeah, I don't really know what he was doing in the last one, you know, I don't know, but it's pissed me off, that kind of stuff, so, but it's life.
Lots of noise behind us. Is it another bike being warmed up?
No, I was lucky, you know, like, the bike is still okay, you know, so we keep going.
Long way to go, keep smiling, thank you.
Thanks.
Heat number 8 coming up, then the restart here with 3 riders only. If you heard any language that may have offended you there, we do apologise. Heat number 8 coming up. 3 riders only. Woffenden is off the inside gate. There was a real battle there between Woffenden and Pedersen in the original staging, and Nicky made an absolute belter off 3, didn't he?
He did, and then it was a strong move down the back straight to get up underneath the world champion. It looked like it was going to be quite a battle out in front. I get the feeling that young Mr. Thompson has changed his bike here, because the first one may have been a little bit bent out of shape in the incident.
Woffenden off the inside then. Gate number 2 is Thompson. Gate 3, Nicky Pedersen, and no rider off the outside. Freddie Lindgren excluded for that move, which resulted in Thompson coming to grief. Nicky Pedersen in white off gate number 3 made a great start, and then a real battle developed with Ty Woffenden. But it is livening up here, and we are seeing some dramatic stuff in this 2016 Jørgaard Danish FIM Speedway Grand Prix.
We are indeed, and it's going to be an entertaining night. Already the crowd have been royally entertained, and we've got plenty more to come. Second time of asking, heat number 8. Here we go.
Green light on. And Thompson's made a good start, and so has Woffenden, and Pedersen's there again. And now it's a replica of the first heat as Woffenden goes up the inside, and now Pedersen's coming on strong. Woffenden has the lead. Nicky Pedersen will hold the inside line, but Woffenden has the advantage going into lap 2 from Pedersen, from Anders Thompson.
Good first corner there from the world champion, just hugged the inside, got the grip, got the drive, then allowed the bike to run wide. Look how wide they're going now. All of a sudden the track stride very quickly in that delay, and the world champion is really beginning to wind it on, using the big arcs in the corner. Look at Anders Thompson really pushing hard in third place on the three-time world champion. Anders Thompson's going to get the second here. What a move from the wild card. Pedersen lifting, relegates himself back to third place. He'll be desperately disappointed with that. Look at this. Pedersen on the inside, pushing hard. Can't get the better of the wild card.
The win is with Woffenden. Anders Thompson second. Nicky Pedersen in third place there. And can you believe it, in the career of Anders Thompson, that is a huge moment for him, having beaten the 3 times world champion on home shale here in Denmark. But Woffenden was there with a fine move. Pedersen, in the original staging of the race, had the lead. It was pulled back for a restart after Thompson fell.
Yeah.
And Woffenden took full advantage and gets 3 points on the board with this result. Ty Woffenden the winner, Anders Thompson second. Nicky Pedersen just lost control of the bike at one stage there. That proved costly for him. And now the Grand Prix standings, 2 riders unbeaten. Matti Zig. And the riders making final preparations. And it is quite a lineup as well. Something has to give here between 2 unbeaten riders. Looking forward to this one for sure. Greg Hancock off the inside has dropped just 1 point so far. Freddie Lindgren will be a man on a mission off gate 2 in blue. Antonio Lindback unbeaten, 6 points from 2 rides. The same applies to Matti Zegar off the outside gate as well. Has to be said, Kelvin, Greg Hancock off that inside gate. You have to fancy him here. Off gate number 1.
You do, absolutely. And his prowess for making starts is legendary. And there's no reason to think that he won't make a decent start this time. 2 unbeaten riders going from gates 3 and 4. As you rightly say, something's got to give there, but both those 2 riders have been in sparkling form so far this evening. Lindgren coming out of gate 2, having to bounce back after being controversially excluded in his previous ride. This is a tough order for him, but he's been riding well this year, so he'll be full of confidence. Hancock just broke the tapes there momentarily, so a small delay to heat number 9. Great lineup, fantastic lineup, really hard to call because Zegar and Lindback have been going great guns so far.
Something has to give. A big lineup, heat number 9. This is the 3rd ride for each of these riders. Green light on, here we go. Hancock on the inside, Lindgren in blue, and Hancock has got the drop in that first turn. Now Lindgren goes high into the 3rd, round the outside. Has he got the speed going into turn 3? What a move from Freddie Lindgren. Hancock is on the inside run here, but Lindgren has that lead, and now Hancock comes through, and now Lindback is in there as well, all bunching up, and the man at the back is Matti Zegar. Lindback second now.
What a move there from Hancock. I thought for a moment Lindgren was going to really fire himself on there, but he made a mistake and relegated himself back to 3rd place. Look at Lindback. He has got so much speed tonight. Hancock out in front is under major threat from Antonio Lindback. They go into the last lap. It's awfully close. How on earth did he avoid him as they went into turn 1 on the last lap? The Americans out in front. What speedway we're witnessing here.
Yep, he's had to do that the hard way. He's seen off Antonio Lindback. Third in blue there was Freddie Lindgren, and Matti Zegar, 2 wins and now a last place. How typical is that of this Grand Prix series? And at one stage, Freddie Lindgren had the lead. He had to settle for just 1 point in the end, but Greg Hancock has got the victory and moves on to 8 points with 2 rides remaining for him. So still in now in a great position for a place in the semi-finals, and good to see those two congratulating each other on a fine speedway race. But at one stage, I wondered what Lindback was doing going in so hard in that turn. Had to go backwards.
Yeah.
Hancock, Lindback, Lindgren, Zegar, the finishing order, and it does now mean that Greg Hancock and Antonio Lindback are top of the shop, 8 points each.
Yeah, I think Lindback's got reverse on his bike because he was going backwards at one point there to avoid that man. Great stuff from the American again. Got the inside gate and he takes full advantage. Lindgren initially here was in a great position, has speed down the outside on the opening lap, but then just gets himself in the wrong place, lifts there as they complete the first lap, runs a little bit wide, a little bit out of shape. Things change so quickly here. Lindback then up into second place, with Lindgren relegated to third, with amazingly Zegar out the back, who fails to score. When you consider here Lindback was having to battle so hard just to get the better of Zegar. Well, what a ride it was then. How on earth those two boys avoided each other was a minor miracle, but Greg Hancock and Antonio Lindback are enjoying a great night so far.
8 points apiece, as you can see, and a super speedway race as well. Hancock has got all that experience under his belt, has just signed a 3-year contract extension with one of his major sponsors, Monster Energy, and
3 years.
That will take him till the age of 49.
That's remarkable, isn't it?
Could we have a Grand Prix rider at the age of 50, I wonder?
Ow. Well, you wouldn't put it past him, would you?
Let's hope for you yet, Kel. Nicky Pedersen off the inside in red.
Thanks, nice.
Maybe not. Nicky Pedersen off the inside in red. Bartosz Marslik, gate 2 in blue. Jason Doyle, gate 3 in white. And Niels Christian Iversen off the outside in yellow. Pedersen off the inside, who was made an error and was beaten by the wildcard in his previous race. And his fellow Dane Niels Christian Iversen off the outside, gate number 4. My goodness, this is a tough lineup, Kelv.
It is, and it just typifies the strength and depth of this year's championship. It really is terrific for the neutral. Every race is going to be fiercely contested. Iversen and Pedersen on gates 1 and 4 respectively, and Smarslik and Doyle as well in the mix. Great lineup. Which way is it going to go? Ryder's really desperate for points as well.
Even the 10, great start from Pedersen. Can he get there in that first turn? He has the lead now. Can he hold it? Second place is the man in blue, Bartosz Smarslik, and they're all bunched up down the back straight. Sometimes I think they'd have to close their eyes. Smarslik coming through. Brilliant. Pedersen second. Iversen is third. Doyle is at the back, but the youngster from Gorzów in Poland, Bartosz Smarslik, is tearing apart the opposition in heat number 10, and a battle between the Danes, Pedersen and Iversen. Pedersen takes it wide. Oh my goodness me!
The speedway between the two Danes for second and third. Great stuff from Smarslik to get himself to the front, and he's cleared off. Pedersen hasn't quite got the speed, but he's hanging on to second place. And his life depends on it. Comes Iversen. Iversen closes the door. Pedersen's down. Oh, dramatic speedway again. Big decision for the referee.
Well, drama here in heat number 10. Well, Nicky was hard on Niels. Niels has come through and Nicky has gone down. 2 Danish riders.
I wouldn't want to be the referee tonight.
With a Danish referee
in Denmark.
Having to adjudicate on 2 Danish riders here. Let's hope Nicky's going to be okay.
Nicky was hard on Iversen the previous lap. Iversen then got up the inside. In actual fact, he has a look at Pedersen. Good to see Pedersen sat up.
Well, that won't do Niels any favours on the replays, the fact that he looked across at Nicky.
He does look across. There, he's having a sneaky look, slams the door shut. Pedersen doesn't come out of the throttle, finds himself with no room to manoeuvre. Pedersen, you know he will never shut off. You know he'll kick, oh, he does actually at the last second, but there's no room. Look, he has a look twice. Is that to try and leave him enough room, or to slam the door shut? Only Iversen knows that. Bottom line is, Pedersen bites the dust. See it again, he's clearly in front of him. Should Pedersen have eased off earlier? That will be going through the referee's mind.
Well, thankfully, Nicky has hit the air fence and not before, which is good, because he's up now, and that's the most important thing.
Such a tough call to make. 55th spin of a coin, I think, for me. Good to see Pedersen on his feet and making his way back. I think Nicky Pedersen might get excluded for that, you know. Not a clear-cut call.
I think it might be Niels.
Okay. He certainly did that with Lindgren, didn't he? When Lindgren got up the inside of Thompson, he went with Lindgren that caused the stoppage. Iversen quite clearly fired up with the move previously on the previous lap. Looks at him twice. That might be his undoing. You're right,
Nigel. Doesn't look good for Niels.
No, it doesn't. No.
The fact that he's looking at him, and he may well be he's looking just to see if he's got the room.
Not a lot of room there, was there?
And Nicky did actually get off the throttle, did he not? At just the last moment.
Now,
he's got off it there.
Yeah. No, you're right. My initial call, I think I'm wrong.
Well, it doesn't matter what we think. It's all about what the referee thinks, and we haven't got a decision yet.
Iversen. Yeah, could well be Iversen. Taking his time. He's obviously looking at the replays on plenty of a question. Is that yellow?
Well, you can't tell in the sunshine. We can now confirm
Iversen,
it is.
you're right.
Niels Christian Iversen is disqualified. Niels Christian Iversen is out of the restart of heat number 10. Oh, goodness me, felt that. So it'll be 3 riders only. And the referee has had 1 or 2 tough decisions to make tonight.
Not a popular one with the reaction from the crowd, that's for sure. But either way, it was going to be a tough call. Pedersen has been struggling for speed. There's no doubt about that. Good to see him up and about, because it could have been very nasty. But you might well be right there. The undoing for Iversen may well be the fact that he actually glanced across to his right on 2 occasions before he moved to the safety fence. If he maybe have left a little bit more room, but he was quite clearly fired up with the hard move that Pedersen made before. Yeah.
Yes, and Niels will argue that Nicky could have got off the gas a little bit earlier. So there's an argument for both riders
and
here.
And he will argue that he was in front of him as well.
Yes.
He's passed him there, he's in front of him, and he would argue that he should come out of the throttle earlier. But Pedersen, you know, will never do that. You know he's a committed rider, and at this level, Nicky will never get out of the move. He has to there because he knows he's running out of room. But to have preempted that, he probably would have felt that Iversen was going to give him a little bit more room.
Niels having strong words, no doubt, with Jesper Steentoft, our referee here this evening. Nicky Pedersen, meanwhile, making preparations. He goes again in heat number 10.
Not a great night for the Danes so far, in truth. Both the big guns, Iversen on 3, and will not be adding to his total because he's out of the rerun. And Nicky Pedersen is also just on the 3 points, so they've had an indifferent start to tonight's meeting. Both of them actually struggled in Warsaw as well, so Iversen having won his 5th consecutive Danish championship very recently, he'll be desperately disappointed with the form shown so far.
Well, Hans Nielsen, we heard from earlier, the new Danish team manager. I wonder what he's thinking, looking at this.
I've got some work to do. You might be having to looking a little bit further down the pecking order. And maybe he's in a bit of a honeymoon period now, but it may well be soon over.
Right, so heat number 10 it is. And 1 or 2 controversial decisions tonight.
Smileslick had made that move early, hadn't he, Nige?
Yep.
And he was away at the front.
He's got to do it again.
Great opportunity for Doyle to get himself amongst the bigger points this time. Track is quite slick. You can see it's got some wear and tear on it. I do think they've suffered with an actual fact. I can't believe I'm about to say this, but the weather's almost been too good. And without a roof, of course, the track in the last 2 weeks here has been baked hard. And in some places it's breaking up. I can clearly see it. And they can't quite get enough moisture into the surface, and it's drying out very quickly.
Pedersen's ready, and the 2-minute clock is not on yet. So, in fact, we are hearing now that Jesper Steentoft is going to award the result. He's going to award the result. The 2-minute clock is not on, and I think that is a reaction now where Nicky Pedersen is not happy because he has been denied the opportunity to go out and challenge for a win. So, Bartosz Marslik,
well,
he'll be happy because he gets the win.
Yeah, exactly. He won't be complaining. He'll be picking up his first win of the night.
We are making the best of this from the information we're getting from down in the pits area in the referee's box.
Rarely do races get awarded at Grand Prix level, but
they never used to be allowed.
No, I know.
They are allowed in the rule book now. I know that much about the rule book.
Indeed, it's a new rule for this season. So the referee has now decided that he will award that race, although I sense there was still some mileage in it. Doyle will be, I assume, will be awarded third place.
Yeah, it'll be Bartosz Marslik, Nicky Pedersen, Jason Doyle, blue, red, white. But if you're filling programmes in at home, don't take my word for it. Don't take my word for it. So we'll just confirm that for you.
Bartosz Marslik was in the front when the race was called, when the red lights came on, so effectively he's been awarded the win.
So here we see it with Bartosz Marslik the leader. They go into the last lap now. Marslik in blue, so Pedersen should be awarded second, and third in white should be Jason Doyle.
Yeah.
So the race being awarded, they went into the last lap, and it was Jason Doyle in third place. So 3 points for Bartosz Marslik, Nicky Pedersen second, and Jason Doyle third. So we'll bring you official confirmation of that very soon, but certainly the fact that they went into the last lap, that is the case. The riders up to tapes for heat number 11, and Jason Doyle, who has now got, what, 5 points to his name. So heat number 11 is coming up. Anders Thompson off the inside, Chris Holder going off gate number 2 in blue, Andreas Jonsson gate 3 in white, and Mats Janowski off the outside in yellow.
Yeah, well,
bit of drama again.
Yeah, we're having a bit of everything, aren't we? And it was dramatic last year, it's dramatic this year. Janowski started solidly tonight. I expect him to continue on. Anders Thompson with a second place last time, that was good. Andreas Jonsson with a change of engine tuner for tonight. And he'll be hoping to build on the second place that he had last time. But once again, a very competitive heat.
Heat number 11 it is. And it's a good start from Holder off gate number 2 in blue. The series leader ahead of this meeting tonight has that lead. Second place now is Mats Janowski. Jonsson now in white, coming hard up the inside. Chris Holder has that lead. Jonsson now challenges hard and has second spot. Janowski is third, and the wild card, Anders Thompson, very much on the pace tonight. But the lead is with Chris Holder, and now Janowski challenging Andreas Jonsson hard.
Holder out in front, looking really fast. Janowski on the inside of Jonsson. That's a really good move. Almost replaced the compliment there, a textbook move from Janowski, who's had a good night. Jonsson's not out of it. He comes charging round the outside in the bottom corner. Can he find the grip? Can he find the speed? The left to go is neck and neck. Jonsson now back into second place. Tough speedway between the boys for second and third. Neck and neck down the back straight. Jonsson slams the door shut. Holder's going to win it, Nigel.
Yep, Holder takes the victory, and Jonsson just about comes through to second place. Good speedway again here in heat number 11. And Chris Holder, very, very much needed for him, takes the victory and puts him on to 4 points after a disappointing start to the night for the series leader. But he is being watched here tonight by his partner Seeley, who actually sacrificed her best friend's birthday party, Zoe, to be here to support Chris here this evening. And she'll have enjoyed that, no doubt. Chris Holder with the victory, Andreas Jonsson second, and Mats Janowski was third. So a win for Chris Holder in heat number 11. Puts him on to 4 points now from 3 rides.
Super ride from Holder. Must have made a few tweaks there because he had so much more speed. Track is drier, that may have helped him as well, but a great start from gate number 2. Hugs the inside, and really and truly, he's comfortable out in front. Tough move initially up the inside going into turns 3 and 4 in the opening lap from Andreas Jonsson. Janowski then comes back into the picture and pretty much gets himself into second place, and it really is a tough tussle between these two boys for second and third. Holder's out in front, he's got it in the bag. Jonsson battling so very hard to pick up second place. It was a really good battle between those two boys. But Holder, with 2 gate 1s consecutively, needed 3 points and got it.
So, heat number 12 coming up here. And we see the reigning champion Ty Woffenden off gate number 2. Peter Killerman off the inside winner here last year. It's not gone his way tonight. And Piotr Pawlicki, no points, but he deserves more than that. Chris Harris is the other rider in this heat as well. From Great Britain, Chris Harris, with Peter Killerman off the inside. Ty Woffenden going off gate number 2 in blue. Piotr Pawlicki, gate 3 in white. And Chris Harris going off the outside in yellow.
Yeah, absolutely. And Peter Kilderman, it's the second time that he's had the inside gate. And he'll want to take advantage of that. Woffenden was a very impressive winner last time. Really did wind it on and won relatively comfortably. Pawlicki's been unfortunate. He's been in the thick of the action, but you make half a mistake here and you pay heavily for it. And you cannot afford to lose your momentum at this track because you get relegated to the back very quickly indeed. Chris Harris again has been battling awfully hard but hasn't been able to trouble the scorers, so both those two riders will be keen to change that now.
Heat number 12. Good start from Woffenden from gate number 2. That was jet propelled right out of the starting tapes. And now Killerman is second.
Oh!
Surely somebody's got to go. No, they stay on the bike. How did they do that? And Harris now. Chris Harris in yellow. Battle of the Brits. Killerman now comes through. Woffenden, Killerman, Chris Harris and Piotr Pawlicki. That is the order in the second lap of the race. And here comes Harris now.
What a move from Harris. Peter Kilderman now switches back to the outside. Woffenden, the way he's missing all the dramatic action behind him. Brilliant start from gate 2 from the world champion. He looks like he's got that bike really dialed in and he's comfortable out in front. Pawlicki, how on earth they all stayed upright coming out of the first corner, I really don't know. Harris is amongst the points. That's a good news for him. Peter Kilderman is struggling for points tonight. He's back in third, but the race is all about Woffenden. Comfortable out in front.
Ty Woffenden takes the checkered flag. Victory for the reigning champion. A real battle from Chris Harris of Great Britain. Good to see. Chris Bomber Harris in second place, Killerman third, and Pawlicki again yet to score, which is a bit of a surprise, but 2 wins on the spin for Woffenden now. Puts him onto 7 points. And Peter Killerman only picks up a point there. He's got 3 from 3. Woffenden celebrates on one wheel. Heat number 12, Woffenden, Harris, Killerman and Pawlicki is the finishing order. 12 heats gone now, all told. And it's Greg Hancock and Antonio Lindback on 8 points each. Riders make the way out then for heat number 13 here in Horsens. And it is, again, another terrific lineup with Chris Harris, who really got in the mix in his last ride as well.
Yeah, he did.
He's off the inside gate. He could prove to be a spoiler here. And Nicky Pedersen, who was denied the opportunity to go for a win when the race was awarded in heat number 10, and I think that's what he was annoyed about. But there's been 1 or 2 things to concern the referee Jesper Steenstoff tonight. He's had a busy night. I'm sure he was hoping for a little bit more of a less dramatic night than this, Gil.
Absolutely. He's had a couple of decisions that I don't envy at all. But nonetheless, once you get to this level, there are going to be some tough calls. And he's had them. Nicky Pedersen coming out on a fresh bike here, coming out of gate 2, looking for a little bit more speed. And he's going to need it because Lindback's out here and he is flying this evening.
Heat number 13 then, with Chris Harris going off the inside in red with 2 points to his name. Nicky Pedersen in the thick of the action. He goes off gate number 2 and he is actually calling one of his pit crew over to the start line. And there are 30 seconds remaining of the 2 minutes. There are 2 of his pit crew charging across now. Matt Sajanowski off gate number 3 in white, and Antonio Lindback is off the outside in yellow, but Nicky Pedersen is not happy with something on the machine, and the clock is ticking.
Well, I don't know what it is, whether it's a bit of bodywork or quite clearly not too much wrong, but they were running out of time rapidly there. And Pedersen can ill afford to actually throw a race away by delaying the start. Settling down now, Harris on the inside, much improved last time, Lindback on the outside. What can he do from there?
Here we go, heat number 13. Great start from Pedersen on gate number 2. That is a lovely start from the Dane. And now the battle is on for second spot. Round the outside comes Swinovski. Watch out for Lindback now in yellow, pushing Chris Harris hard. Harris locked up nicely there in the third, and now Janowski takes Pedersen. Lovely move, and a bit of magic from Mats Janowski.
Yeah, absolutely. Brilliant move around the inside. Pedersen there, initially off the gate 2. Made a great start. Lindback's out the back once again. Gate 4 proving to be really an uphill task, no matter how well you're going. Lindback working really hard. Janowski out in front is riding well tonight. Really solid, plenty of speed. Lindback now gives the better of Harris. He comes through into third place. Oh, Harris has gone down. He bounces against the air fence, but they're in the last lap.
Yeah, the lead is with Mats Janowski. Chris is up, which is good to see. Janowski is going to take the checkered flag in heat 13. Second place, Nicky Pedersen. And third there, a hard charge from Antonio Lindback. Chris Harris fell. Unlucky there because he really has ridden hard tonight. Just hasn't happened for him. Nicky Pedersen made a great start, but was passed by Janowski. I just wonder whether the questions that Nicky's asked about his engines, he's been working hard over the last 4 weeks. I just wonder if he's reached any conclusions about his engine setup, because he's clearly not been happy with his engine so far this season. Janowski, the race winner there, 3 big points for Magic, moves him on to 9, which is in a great position now. Nicky Pedersen second, third was Antonio Lindback, and Mats Janowski moving up to 9 points now, level with Antonio Lindback.
Yeah, great stuff from the Polish boy, and he's been injured at times, and I think that has held him back in the early part of the year, but here rides really sweetly to get the better of Nicky Pedersen, who early on makes a great start from gate 2, and then he goes up the inside of him here. Pedersen finds himself in no man's land there, and in actual fact Janowski passes him relatively comfortably, kicking off the safety fence rather at the end of the back straight. Antonio Lindback, who's enjoyed a great night, gets the better of Chris Harris, who then subsequently gets very tight here. Look at this. Has to then select reverse and slips off the bike. Bounces against the air fence on the outside. He's okay, that's good news. But Mats Janowski, terrific ride from him. 9 points from 12. He's in the semi-finals.
Former World Under-21 champion Janowski. The World Under-21 final gets underway next Saturday in the UK at Kings Lynn, the 18th of June. And 3 rounds this year for the World Under-21 Championship. A revamped and relaunched World Under-21 Championship this year. Kings Lynn's Adrian Flux Arena next Saturday night. That should be an absolute cracker. Here's the lineup for heat number 14 now. Niels Christian Iversen off the inside in red. Peter Killerman needs points off gate 2 in blue. Anders Thompson gate 3 in white. Matti Zegar off the outside. 3 Danes here, and the 2 on the inside. Iversen and Killerman, big hitters in the GP. They need points here.
They do, and how things can change so quickly. You know, Iversen after 2 rides wasn't panicking. He said, well, I've got plenty of rides to come. I'm in the mix. I can turn things around. But that exclusion last time has really put him under a lot of pressure. 3 points from 3 rides. He needs 2 wins, really, to get himself safely through. So pressure on the Danish champion. 5-time Danish champion, of course. And he's got the inside gate. He needs to come good now.
Here we go, heat number 14, a battle of the Danes. And off the outside, Matti Zegar. Here we go. Good start for Iversen off 1, but Killerman has got the drop on him from gate number 2. Watch out for Zegar. Thompson's taken him wide. Now Iversen has the lead, but Killerman is going to battle away high. Iversen's going wide now as well. This is a good race developing here. Right into lap 2. It's Iversen from Killerman, from Thompson. And there is Zegar at the back, but he's not out of it either. And Anders Thompson passes Peter Killerman.
Fabulous move there from the wild card. Comes through into second place. He's got lots of speed. Iversen got the better of Peter Killerman on the opening lap. But keep your eyes on the wild card. He seems to have a lot of speed, and he's coming on strong in second place. Zegar, who started the meeting so brightly, has faded fast, and he's down the back. But Iversen in front, needed the win, needs the 3 points if he has any chance of making the semi-finals.
And Zegar's not done yet. Right at the back, he's going to challenge Peter Killerman, who's lacking speed here. Everson, Thompson, Killerman and Everson is your finishing order. And Niels Christian Everson gets 3 huge points on the board to double his score, puts him on to 6, and that gives him a shout with a good last ride of making the semis after all. Niels Christian Everson has just kept his hopes alive there, Kel.
He has indeed. He had to do it the hard way, but we've seen this man on many occasions when his back's against the wall. He comes up with the goods, needed it, delivered it. Brilliant ride for an Everson in heat 14.
From Thompson, from Killerman in 3rd place there. He's only on 4 now, and Mati Zegar 0. 2 wins, 2 zeros for the Slovenian. He's up against it now.
Yeah.
He needs points in his last ride. Who would have thought that after 2 straight wins to get the night underway? Again, underlining this World Championship, how unpredictable it can be. Everson has just kept his hopes alive with a fantastic win.
He needed it, and he comes good when he really is under pressure. Peter Kilderman initially makes a good start from gate 2, but that inside line off the first corner proves to be the right one for Everson. He's out in front. Anders Thompson, then the wild card, comes right into the mix. Battling early on, here we see it between Everson and Peter Kilderman, last year's winner. There's the wild card, white helmet colour, coming through into 3rd place. But Niels Christian Everson, what a ride, he needed it. 1 more to go. Interesting to see where he starts from. Gate 2 in heat 18 against Holder, Harris and Lindgren. He can do it from there.
Certainly can. Heat number 15 is coming up now. Here we see Bartosz Smarslik off the outside in yellow. By the way, there was a lot of confusion over the result of heat 10, which initially was called incorrectly, but Smarslik has got the win for heat number 10. Thankfully, I called it in commentary, but we were getting mixed messages that the result was declared incorrectly. It has now been corrected during that interval break. So we build up to heat 15 now with Freddie Lindgren off the inside. Andreas Jonsson goes off gate number 2. Piotr Pawlicki goes off gate number 3 here. And Bartosz Smarslik going off the outside. He now is on 6 points, Bartosz Smarslik, because of that victory that he has now been awarded for heat number 10.
Well, he's in the mix, isn't he, Smarslik, now with those 3 points. And he'll be battling hard, even though he's going from the outside, which is proving difficult. Pawlicki on gate 3 has had a disappointing night. Hasn't really, deserves more than that. He's been right there or thereabouts. Jonsson's been battling hard. The 2 Swedes going head-to-head on the inside.
Yep. Oh! Piotr Pawlicki, and the red lights are on once again. That's the 2nd time that has happened with Pawlicki. Called back for a 2nd time. Now, here's a question. Was he warned first time?
Will he get excluded the 2nd time?
Now?
Effectively delaying the start of the race by anticipating the start. Nothing to lose, of course, for the young Polish boy. Yeah, clearly does anticipate the start. Doesn't touch the tapes, and a lot of people would argue that why bring it back, but there's no way you can react that quickly. He has gambled there.
Well, the 2 minutes is on already. No sign of an exclusion light, so it looks like it's going to be all 4 riders back. But Pawlicki has had a nightmare tonight.
Yeah.
Failed to score a point and has now been called back twice for an unsatisfactory start.
Big race for Andreas Jonsson here as well. He's had a disappointing campaign so far. There's been a change with his engines this evening. I do know that he's got different engine tuner with him this evening, and started poorly, but then has had 2 solid 2nd places. Needs to keep building if he wants to make the semi-finals tonight. Freddie Lindgren's in here as well. He's going off the inside, and he's not been quite at his best, and he needs a big performance. So at this crucial stage of the night, Nigel, riders really beginning to get quite desperate for points, and hence the action on the track will just get more and more hectic and more dramatic. So riders now back up at tapes. 2nd time of asking. Young Piotr, of course, will have to remain a little bit more patient this time. I'm surprised he hasn't managed to score a point tonight. That is disappointing for him, but nonetheless, he just needs to remain composed and try and use these last two rides to full benefit.
Yep, heat number 15 it is then. The second time of asking here. Lindgren in red, 2 points to his name so far. On a night of high drama, 1 or 2 stoppages, a couple of crashes, controversial decisions, wrong race jacket here and there. Heat number 15 there. It's all happening. They're all in it. Here we go. Heat number 15, second time here in Horsens, Denmark. That's a good start from Jonsson in white, isn't it? In blue he's got there, it's Pawlicki in white. The man in red is Lindgren. Pawlicki now trying to come round the outside of Andreas Jonsson in blue. Now he's going to try the inside run. A lovely move from the man from Lechno in Poland. But Jonsson is holding firm. Jonsson still has the lead. And it's a very close race, this one. Pawlicki's come back for more. Here comes Jonsson again.
Brilliant Speedway out in front. And for second and third. And fourth. Smarslik for Pawlicki, putting all sorts of pressure on Jonsson out in front. Smarslik now through into third place with Lindgren relegated to the back. Really slick conditions now. You can't go too wide, it's tough out there. Jonsson hanging on out in front. Smarslik coming on hard in third place. Can he get the better of Pawlicki? But Jonsson needed a win, and he's going to get it.
Yeah, the 2 Polish boys really do go for it. Hammer and tongue. Pawlicki is there. Lindgren has come through to third, and it's very close on the line with Smarslik for that third place now. We're going to have to take another look at that. But no doubt about the winner, Andreas Jonsson has got that under his belt, and that puts him on to 7 points now. A big win for Jonsson. Pawlicki second, and on the line, looks as though Smarslik has just got there, ahead of Freddie Lindgren. Good speedway again.
Brilliant speedway, and Jonsson under immense pressure. Coming out of gate 2, second time of asking, pulls off a very valuable win there. He now moves on to 7 points with a race to go, giving himself a chance of semi-finals this evening. Heat 15 was hectic, you're right. The 2 Polish youngsters going at it really hard for second and third.
Jonsson, Pawlicki and Smarslik was the finishing order there, with Lindgren at the back. 15 heats gone now, and the finishing order now, and we see Janowski on 9, Lindback on 9 points so far. Smarslik, by the way, is on 7 points now, not the 5 that was shown there. So heat number 16 is coming next.
What a start it was from the Swedish boy out of gate number 2, Jonsson. And he comes under a lot of pressure here because Pawlicki, who's had a terrible night, really does battle very hard and makes it tough for the Swedish men out in front. Handlebar to handlebar, elbow to elbow throughout the 4 laps here. Really congested as they come out of the first corner. Jonsson now riding the Fleming Gravison engines, and it certainly looked pretty competitive there. Pawlicki there pushing him awfully hard. Good sportsmanship between the riders. Jonsson's team delighted with that heat win, and smiles on their faces, which is good to see. They haven't been doing that very often so far.
Tapes have gone again in the build-up to heat number 16. And what
happening.
a lineup it is. Holder, 4 points. Hancock, 8. Worfenden, 7. Doyle, 5. But we are awaiting the arrival of new tapes. Because
they're on their way.
They're on the way, but the boys are certainly going over the line and bouncing into the tapes where they're doing their gardening at the start.
Well, such a vital part of the race, of course, the start.
Chris Holder off the inside on 4. Hancock off 2 on 8. Worfenden off 3 on 7. And Doyle is actually on 5 points off the outside in yellow. So Jason Doyle on 5 points from his ride so far. Heat number 16 is coming up once the starting tapes are back in position and ready to go. Yeah,
they're working furiously there. It won't be too much longer and we'll be set, ready to go. Holder was impressive last time from the inside gate, or one of the inside gates, I'm not entirely sure, but he's got the inside gate this time, Nigel, and he needs to build on that.
Yeah, he was off gate 2 in 11.
He was in gate 2 and he made a great start, didn't he? Yeah. Worfenden now reverts to the outside, so can he continue on his winning ways? What a lineup this is. Certainly the 3 riders here and Doyle. This is a tough heat 16.
3 world champions, Holder, Hancock and Worfenden, ready to do battle here. And it's a great start from Holder off the inside. Worfenden tries a cheeky little move up the inside. Is the room there? Not quite. He's had 1 wheel over the inside. And going into turn 3, Hancock is wide. Hancock is going into the dirt. Worfenden is there. Holder maintains the lead. This is a great race, and the old man master teaches the pupils a lesson or two in heat number 16.
Fabulous move from Hancock to get himself to the front. Woffinden's on the inside, he's got himself to second place. Holder, it was 3 abreast down the back straight. They're all teammates, of course. They were really going at it. Holder coming on strong round the outside of Wooffinden. Wooffinden holding the inside, really hugging the white line. But look at the master out in front. Hancock is majestic. What a ride from the American.
Oh, it is hard work here for second and third, with Hancock going to take the checkered flag. Wooffinden locks up and gets 2 points. Chris Holder third and Jason Doyle at the back. But what about that man, Greg Hancock? He's got the 2 younger riders who are his colleagues under the Monster Energy banner, of course. And my goodness, he really did come through with every bit of experience. And that was great to watch, Kelvin.
It was fabulous, and it never ceases to amaze me. His enthusiasm, his determination to continue winning races. Such a competitive race, won it comfortably.
Yeah, he's on 11 points now as well. He leads the Grand Prix by 2 points with 4 heats to go of the qualifying heats. Wooffinden's on 9, looking good for the semis now. Holder back on 5 points, Jason Doyle. So here's your lineup then for 17. It's Antonio Lindback off the inside on 9 points. Anders Thompson goes off gate number 2 on 5. Jason Doyle on 5 as well off gate 3. And Piotr Pawlicki is off the outside gate in yellow. These now the final 4 heats to decide our semi-finalists. The top 8 go through to the semi-final. And it is shaping up quite nicely here in Horsens. This man, Antonio Lindback, has been a revelation off the inside in red. Yeah, has ridden quite beautifully.
He has indeed, and he can finish his 5th ride off here in style from the inside. Doyle on 5 points. Change of equipment here onto the DGR engine. He wins it. He may just sneak into the semi-final.
17 then, and Doyle has made a beauty on that new engine from gate number 3. Oh, the irony of his switched engine, and now here comes Pawlicki up the inside of Lindback. But Doyle has that lead right now. Here comes Pawlicki! Oh, he made that look so easy, didn't he? Where has he been all night? 3 last places, and now he has got the lead on the back of a 2nd place last time.
Brilliant move there from Pawlicki, right round the inside. They did plenty of track grading. Maybe Doyle just got caught out. But there's no question that Pawlicki made that move. Doyle really needed the 3 points. 2 probably won't be enough. Lindback, who's enjoyed a good night, will be okay with the 3rd place. But Pawlicki out in front. What a move it was. And he's going to seal his first victory on the night.
Yeah, Pawlicki is making it look comfortable here. This will put him in good heart for the trip to Prague in the next round of the GP in a couple of weeks' time. Doyle with one wheel over the line there, and I thought he'd lost control, but he's ended up with 2nd place anyway. His night finishes on 7, Jason Doyle, and 3rd was Antonio Lindback, who moves into double figures. And as Thompson's night is over with 5, but he's ridden pretty well tonight as well. He can feel pretty pleased with his efforts, I'm sure. But Piotr Pawlicki's night is over, but he'll feel a lot happier with his last 2 rides.
Will he ever? Brilliant ride there from Pawlicki. What a move it was, an opportunist move. Spotted that there was plenty of grip right on the inside in turns 3 and 4. Got himself to the front.
Pawlicki the race winner then, with 2nd place going to Jason Doyle, who finishes on 7 points tonight. 3rd, Antonio Lindback, who started off brilliantly and finishes on 10, so he'll be in the semi-finals, and Anders Thompson on 5. So that's heat 17 done and dusted, and a good ride from Piotr Pawlicki after Jason Doyle made an absolute beauty.
Yeah, Antonio Lindback, who is comfortably into the semi-finals, just faded a little bit in his last 2 rides with 2 3rd places, but 10 points to his name. A good night's work so far, and 10 points in the World Championship is not to be sniffed at. Here we see the rerun. Doyle out of gate 3 makes an absolute peach of a start initially, but the move from Pawlicki up the inside initially of Lindback down the back straight. But look at this, just gets his front wheel over the white line. There's a bit of dirt there right on the inside, and he gets himself to the front. We're looking at Lindback, he's back in 3rd place. Pawlicki will wish he'd started like this, because he'd be a really strong contender. But 5 points, well, somehow he's battled his way back. Not happy, but 5 is better than none.
Yep, heat number 18 is coming up next now, and Chris Holder off the inside gate, the series leader before tonight, needs a win. Simple as that. Niels Christian Iversen is alongside him. He's got a point better than Chris Holder. and we have Harris and Lindgren, who have only a couple of points apiece and are out of contention for a place in the semi-finals. But there's been some good stuff out there tonight. Still beautiful sunset here in Horsens this evening. Chris Holder off the inside, Niels Christian Iversen off 2, Chris Harris gate 3 in white, Fredrik Lindgren going off the outside in yellow. Should really congratulate our hosts, by the way, AC Horsens Football Club, on their promotion from the season that has just finished under manager Bo Henriksen, a former Kidderminster Harriers player. So congratulations to AC Horsens.
Good knowledge, Knights, good knowledge, love it.
Well, I live near Kidderminster.
Did you? Is he your favourite player? I do believe that Bruce Springsteen's coming here later in the summer as well, so...
You're not going to enjoy getting tickets, have you?
I tell you what, there'll be gold dust. I think they sold out in an hour or two, but that'll be a big date coming in July. Here we go.
It's number 18. Good start from Holder off 1. Now he hits that first turn. It's very tight between the other 3. And the man in yellow, Freddie Lindgren, is all out of shape. Here comes Chris Harris now, battling hard here with the leader, Chris Holder. Niels Christian Iversen is up the inside, trying to get the challenge of Chris Harris. And now Iversen has second spot. It's Chris Holder with the lead. Second place, Niels Christian Iversen. Battling hard here is Chris Harris of Great Britain.
Yeah, he is indeed. Iversen up the inside. Harris is really making him work very hard indeed. Harris has now nearly got to the lead. Holder's out in front, but Chris Harris is riding a stormer. He's in the second place, looking like he wants to make a move for the lead. There's just over a left to go. Harris is going on strong. Brilliant stuff. Holder now needs to react. He moves wide, just about keeps himself at the front.
What a battle from Chris Harris here.
Yeah.
The lead is with Holder. He's going to win, but he knows he's been made to work absolutely overtime there, with Chris Harris finishing second. That was a real battle, and Chris Harris has just ruined Niels Christian Iversen's night. How about that? Brilliant stuff from him, but Chris Holder worked hard. He picks up 8 points now, Chris Holder, from his night's work, and of that he has 2 race wins under his belt. So it's looking favourable for Chris Holder to make the semi-finals now with those 2 race wins under his belt. Chris Harris was second, third was Niels Christian Iversen, and Freddie Lindgren paid the price for a poor start to that race where he got into trouble and wasn't able to recover. And as you see now, Holder on 8, Iversen is on 7 points, still in with a shout of a semi-final place, but there's 2 races to come where riders around him have the opportunity to get the better of him.
Yeah, that was a really important ride there from Chris Holder, and as you rightly say, 2 race wins and sort of finishing on 8 points could be very valuable. And the World Championship leader coming into tonight has kind of recovered his night, and Gate 1 has come to his rescue there, although he had to work very hard, because all credit to Chris Harris here, he rides a real stormer. Freddie Lindgren all over the place in the first corner. He really does feel the full effects of Harris moving out there. There's just not a lot of room, and Lindgren pulling all sorts of shapes and sizes out there in the first corner, but Harris comes on really strong. It's Iversen who puts him under pressure initially, but Harris then puts Iversen to bed. It's tight there going into the first corner after a lap or 2. Here we see them again battling very closely, but Holder and Harris put on a really good show, and the former world champion from 2012 should get through to the semi-finals with that score.
Yeah, great ride from Chris Holder, brilliant from him. Heat number 19 coming up here. Nicky Pedersen still needs points. The old master Greg Hancock is off the outside in yellow on 11 points and is the top scorer in the GP so far tonight. There's your lineup: Andreas Jonsson off the inside on 7, Nicky Pedersen on 7, Peter Killerman, winner here last year, not going to win tonight, 4 points to his name, and Greg Hancock off the outside in yellow.
Yeah, big race for several reasons. Hancock will want to keep piling the points on, of course. You'll want to finish with 14, every point vital in your championship chase. The man on the inside, Andreas Jonsson, has given him a chance of making the semi-finals. He's on 7, going from the favoured inside gate. Pedersen will be a major threat. He will be very keen to get away from gate 2. Kilderman has had a poor night by his high standards. Good racing prospect.
E19. Pedersen in that first turn, gate number 2, super start from him. Killerman is second now, Hancock's at the back. The man in the red helmet colour is Andreas Jonsson. Oh, goodness me!
How on did he stay on? Peter Kilderman slams the bike into Pedersen. Unbelievable move from Peter Kilderman.
Ruthless speedway here in Horsens tonight. Peter Kilderman in white, taking out all his frustration here. Nicky Pedersen is second, and now Jonsson has just got the better of Hancock, who's relegated to the back. Drama in the extreme here in Horsens.
Hancock now back round the outside of Andreas Jonsson. That does the Swedish boys no favours at all. Hancock, what a move! Hancock's up in second. What a clever ride from Hancock. He was out the back, he's now comfortably into second place. Peter Kilderman, what a move on the opening lap. Can't believe they stayed on.
Yeah, Peter Kilderman is going to take the checkered flag. Greg Hancock has gone from last to second with a stunning move up the inside. Very, very calculated. Nicky Pedersen was third, and Jonsson went to the back. An amazing race of Speedway. Heat number 19. No doubt, no wonder the Danish crowd are delighted with that. And Nicky Pedersen was the man who was fastest out of the start into that first turn. But Kilderman is spectacular, and he's got the victory there. And 7 points to him now.
Peter Kilderman.
But what about Hancock as well, going from last to second?
Such a clever ride from Hancock.
Yep, Kilderman the winner. Hancock was second. Third place there went to Nicky Pedersen. Andreas Jonsson at the back. Quite a race. Heat number 19. And Hancock on 13 points will lead the Grand Prix going into the semi-finals, Kel.
And for so long he was buried out the back, Nige. Looked like he was going to finish on 11. But the American bided his time, made the move when he needed to. Kilderman finishes on a high. What a move it was. How on earth he didn't just wipe Nicky Pedersen out, I don't really know. I think the replay will show us. Pedersen's made the start initially, but watch Peter Kilderman. Watch how hard he pushes here. Crikey, O'Reilly. How tight was that? So easily Pedersen could have gone down there. And I would assume Peter Kilderman could have been excluded. That is so tight.
Has he made contact there?
Well, I think, he certainly was having a word in his ear. It wasn't easy, went by. Andreas Jonsson there battling with Hancock. But look at this move. Such a clever move from Greg Hancock to get himself into second place and get the better of Nicky Pedersen. Fabulous speedway all round. The Danes are delighted to see Kilderman winning a race. But Greg Hancock will be chuffed to bits with his 13 points.
Yeah. Great speedway, Heat 19. This is 20 now with Woffenden in yellow. Ty Woffenden of Great Britain off the outside gate in the yellow helmet colour. It's a good lineup, this one as well, with the young Poles off the inside two gates too. Bartosz Marslik needs points here off the inside in red. Matt Janowski, gate 2 in blue. Matti Zagar, gate 3 in white, 2 wins and 2 lasts. And Ty Woffenden, a consistent night's work from Woffenden. 9 points, he's off the outside gate.
Yeah, and he's had the outside gates. This is the second time we'll see him going from gate 4. He got a point from there in his opening ride. I think he'll be pleased with that again, in truth. He'll be through to the semi-finals. Zagar, well, his night has just evaporated after such an impressive start. Desperate for points here.
Yep, here we go, heat number 20. Great start from Janowski off gate number 2. Now, which way will Woffenden go? He's going high to the dirt. Woffenden, what a move from gate number 4. Swept around the outside. Janowski is second now. Now, we've got to keep our eyes on Zagar. Matti Zagar in white. He's on 6 points so far. If he can go around and get second, he could edge into the semi-finals.
He's done it,
What a ride. What a ride.
What a ride from Zagar indeed. Relegates the 2 Polish riders to 3rd and 4th. Woffenden majestic out in front. Zagar under huge pressure comes up with a storming ride. He's through in the second place. Janowski relegated to the back. Smarslik is there as well, but Woffenden is in a class of his own here. Look at that. Well, too wide in actual fact. Spoke too soon, but he's comfortable in front.
Zagar's going to make the semi-finals here. Matti Zagar with second place moves him on to 8. Matt Janowski gets 3rd place there. And a man in red, Bartosz Marslik, on 7. And by my calculations, Andreas Jonsson may just sneak in. This is going to be all down to count back now, because Andreas Jonsson got 1 race win. So it's all about who beat who, just to confirm that last qualifying spot for the semi. But what about Woffenden? 12 points now for Woffenden. Zagar second, Janowski third, and Smarslik at the back. First semi-final here then of the 2016 Kjærgaard Danish FIM Speedway Grand Prix. It's coming up here now, and terrific meeting so far. We hope you've enjoyed our coverage once again tonight. Semi-final is going to be tasty. Hancock off gate number 1. Can anybody beat him? So hard to get the better of Hancock when he makes the start.
Yeah.
And even when he doesn't, he's so clever and calculated.
What a move it was in his last ride, where he seemed to be out of it and then made those clever moves to get himself into second place and finish on 13 points. Terrific lineup here for the first semi-final. So competitive, with Lindback also enjoying a great night of Speedway, but the favourite is Hancock for me.
First semi-final here then. Greg Hancock goes off the inside in red. Antonio Lindback gate 2 in blue. Chris Holder gate 3 in white, and Nicky Pedersen off the outside in yellow. We have 3 world champions in this race who have 7 world titles between them. Hancock 3, Pedersen 3, Holder 1, and Hancock is the current leader of the World Championship right now as well by 1 point ahead of Ty Woofenden. This is only round 3 though. We go to Prague in 2 weeks' time, and then Cardiff, the Principality Stadium, on July the 9th. What an occasion that is in the UK, Cardiff on July the 9th. Always a carnival-type atmosphere. People arrive early on that Saturday and make a full day of it. And we're looking forward to that once again in 4 weeks' time.
We are indeed. The fan zone itself in Cardiff is quite a sight to behold. Semi-final number 1 though. Here we go.
What a lineup. Which way is this one going to go? Oh, Lindback moved at the start, and that cost him. Hancock is there. Hancock has the lead. Surely nobody can pass him, unless your name's Chris Holder. Oh, my goodness me. Chris Holder has, and Lindback's gone down at the back.
Pedersen pushed him hard going into turn 3. Red lights on. Holder will be disappointed after a great move in the first corner. Can't believe it. He was looking set for the final. Strong move from Pedersen, with Lindback biting the dust going into turns 3. Jesper Steentoft, who'd be a referee here this evening. Watch it again. Pedersen with his wheels in line, charging up the inside. But is there contact?
I don't think there is, Kel.
I'm not sure there is either. I think Lindback sort of premeditates contact. Can't see from there. Can't see from that angle.
No. Lindback still down. Let's hope he's going to be okay. He's gone into the air fence. It's difficult to see from there as well.
Doesn't leave him with too much option but to get off the bike.
Another big decision for the referee to make here then, Jesper Steentoft.
Massive one. Last year was the same, wasn't it, with all sorts of drama with Woofenden and Peter Kilderman late in the night. Here we see in semi-final number 1, Lindback enjoying a great night. Pedersen scrapping for his life. Single may be better. I don't know if there's any contact, you know.
No.
A little bit of water on the track, a little bit greasy out there. Lindback is obviously aware that Pedersen's there and slips off the bike. I fear for Lindback here.
Yes, we see it again. Yeah, I don't think that there's any contact that's caused him to fall.
I get the feeling Lindback will go, Nige. I get... if there is any, it's absolutely minimal.
Well, Antonio Lindback is walking back across the centre green, which is good. So he is okay. We just await the confirmation of Jesper Steentoft's decision here. Phil Morris, the race director, just checking that he's okay.
Still hasn't made his decision, no. Second time that Pedersen's been involved in a controversial decision. Nothing unusual about that, in truth, but Lindback will be keeping his fingers crossed that he will be in the rerun, but I'm not sure if there was any contact here. He kind of moves out the way. Pedersen is charging hard. He's got his wheels in line here, lifts there. Maybe that creates the problem for Lindback, but Lindback does kind of move out the way, and the blue exclusion light has come on, Nigel, so Lindback has gone. Of course, the home crowd are delighted with that, because their man is still in the rerun. But a certain amount of sympathy for Lindback, but 10 points from his first 5 rides, not a disaster.
Yep, And he's ridden beautifully tonight, Antonio Lindback, and it's good to see him back to his best. But I've got to say, I just feel as though that is the right call.
It is. It's a tough call. It's not an easy one to make, but I'm not sure there was any contact, and I get the feeling that, well, if he maybe had stayed on his line, there would have been contact, and then Nicky Pedersen would have been excluded. But because he kind of moved out of the way and then slipped off, not an easy one to call, but the referee probably has made the right one.
Well, it's all about opinions, sport, and Speedway in particular on a night like this when decisions have had to be made. What about Chris Holder?
Well,
there was me saying nobody's going to pass Greg Hancock, and then he goes and passes him.
He must have heard you, because he wound it on then, didn't he? He just roared round the outside, got the better of the American, and fired himself to the front, and was clearly frustrated when he saw the red lights come on.
It was a great move, wasn't it?
It was a smashing move, and he knows now with the quality of the lineup, he may not get away with it the second time, because Hancock may cover it. Riders appearing now. Hancock and Holder are out on track. We're just waiting for Nicky Pedersen, who is just having the last few adjustments with the bike in the pits. Just the rear chain being adjusted with the crew. Plenty of mechanics in Nicky's corner. Helga there on the right. His long-serving manager has been with him for an awful long time. A minute and a half left, so still plenty of time for the three-time former world champion to make his way to the start. You can never count Pedersen out, you know, because you know he's going to have a real good go at it. And with only 3 of them in it, every possibility of making the final for Pedersen.
Yep, here we go then. 2 out of these 3 will make the final of the Kjærgaard Danish FIM Speedway Grand Prix, with Greg Hancock off the inside in red. Made a textbook start, but Holder came around the outside. No rider off gate 2, Chris Holder off gate 3, and Nicky Pedersen going off the outside gate. Semi-final number 1. 3 world champions across the grid.
Top quality race, and all have tasted victory in the World Championship. Pedersen 3 times, Hancock 3 times, Holder 2012, the one time he won it when it went head-to-head with Pedersen, and he showed great character to pull it off in Torren that year to seal a famous victory. Holder returning to something like his best after 2 or 3 seasons with serious injury. Also the injury to Darcy Ward, there's no question last year that affected him very heavily indeed. And all credit to Holder, he's come back, he's shown great character so far this year, and is riding brilliantly again in the World Championship. Fabulous lineup for semi-final number 1. Second time of asking, which way's it going to go?
3 world champions then on the grid here for the first semi-final in Denmark. Green light is on. Hancock's made a good start once again. Pedersen will drift wide, but Holder's taken him wide. Now Hancock has gone wide himself, even though Holder's got loads of speed. Now, can Chris Holder use the line around the outside to get the better of Greg Hancock? Super move from Chris Holder of Australia. Hancock holding the inside line. Will that do him though? Because Nicky Pedersen's gaining ground on Greg Hancock as well. Holder has the lead. Hancock second, and Nicky Pedersen third.
Yeah, absolutely. Hancock made the decision to hold the inside line. That allowed Chris Holder to use the speed on the outside, and he's cleared off out in front. Pedersen just doesn't quite look like he's got the pace to get the better of the American, and it looks like the Holder and Hancock are going to go through to the big final this evening. What a ride from Chris! Oh! Hancock out of shape. Does he throw it away? Can he respond? Not quite. Pedersen is fortunate.
Oh, I'll tell you what, Nicky Pedersen did so well to avoid Greg Hancock there. Hancock lost it completely, and it's just fortunate that he didn't come off the bike. Thank goodness for that. And Pedersen suddenly finds himself in the final. Goodness me.
What on earth happened there? Holder out in front, won the race comfortably. Must have been a momentarily lapse of concentration by Hancock, who's enjoyed a fabulous night up until that point. You just never know, do you? You just cannot forecast what's going to happen in this year's World Championship.
I'm going to stop predicting Speedway results,
because we haven't
got a clue, have we?
One, mate.
Holder the winner on 11. Hancock on 14, he will not be in the final. And suddenly Nicky Pedersen on 10 points and is in the final here in Denmark and still can win a Grand Prix in his home country for the first time.
Which in itself is quite incredible. Holder was supreme there. Second time of asking, and he has plenty of room because Greg Hancock makes the decision to ride right round the inside. There you see it. Works the first lap. But later on in the race, Holder's out in front. There's the problem. Hancock lifting when he moves to the outside. How on earth he stays on the bike? Just about regains control of his motorbike. But unfortunately for the American, Nicky Pedersen was there ready to pounce. And just can't see it. Shame, in actual fact, quite what was going on with the replay there. But there's no doubt that Chris Holder won comfortably. Hancock will be furious with that. He will see that with a missed opportunity. 14 World Championship points, that's not bad at all. But Hancock would have wanted more. He would have wanted desperately to be in the final.
Well, thankfully he's okay. That's the main thing. But I'd like to have seen that again for a second time on the replay, I'll be honest.
Absolutely. It was such an important move. And we just saw the back end of it. Anyway, semi-final number 2. What's going to happen next? You just could not have predicted that, could you? No way could you see Hancock making that sort of mistake.
Right, here we go. Semi-final number 2. Ty Woffenden goes off the inside. Matti Janowski off 2. Matti Zegar off 3. Andreas Jonsson going off the outside in the yellow helmet colour. Woffenden on 12 points. He can now, if results go his way, he can overhaul Hancock and lead the World Championship going to Prague in 2 weeks' time. Jonsson, a bit of controversy with the starting marshal there. But here we go, they're under orders. And we're ready for semi-final number 2. Oh! Jonsson gets it up, and the red lights are on.
Yeah. I thought for a moment he was going to get away with that. He knows that he's in the worst gate and took a bit of a run at it. In truth, he's got nothing to lose. He's crept into the final on 7 points, and we'll see it here. Does he move? How early does he move? Yeah, he's going. He's anticipated that.
Well, the other thing about it as well, Kelv, is that the starting marshal was having strong words with Jonsson in the build-up to that race, which possibly added to the anxiety.
Well, yeah, possibly.
Oh,
yeah, very nearly touched the tapes, didn't he? But he'll have to be more patient. And it's worthwhile being patient. Certainly Nicky Pedersen was, because he could never have forecast that Greg Hancock, one of the safest, one of the most predictable riders in the world, inexplicably gets that extra drive 2/3 of the way around that first and second corner, which creates the problem where he drove across the corner, ran out of room, finds himself bouncing against the safety fence, and did remarkably well actually to stay on board. But unfortunately for Greg Hancock, Pedersen was able to pounce and got himself into the final. Dramatic scenes late on in semi-final number 1.
Yeah, quite a night here in Horsens for various reasons. Controversy and drama, and you just cannot predict it here, but the opportunity is here for Ty Woffenden now, the reigning champion, to lead the championship race.
It won't be lost on him either. I know he's a savvy guy, and he'll now know that he's in an opportunity, even at this very early stage in the championship, to just steal a little bit of a march on the opposition. Every point so hard fought, and the opportunity to grab some extra points over Hancock, who is such a major threat for the championship. I'm sure Ty Woffenden will be very much aware of that.
So Woffenden then the man off the inside in red. Janowski off 2, Zegar off 3, Jonsson a semi-finalist on 7 points, which doesn't happen very often in the GP. He's off the outside gate in yellow. Semi-final number 2. The final will feature Chris Holder and Nicky Pedersen. Which two will join them here now? Yes, Versteentop. Ready with the green light. Here we go. Woffenden's made a decent start there. Janowski is in there too. Janowski's trying the run around the outside, and up the inside is Zegar. Matti Janowski, oh, he's almost clipped the fence, just like Hancock did. Woffenden's holding the inside run here. Jonsson's got 3, Andreas Jonsson! What What a run from him! He's gone wide, and Woffington comes back for more.
Johnson there momentarily got himself into second place, ran far too wide. He's now on the inside of the world champion. Oh, nearly running into the back of him. Janowski was brilliant though, although he did actually get out of shape himself. He's comfortable out in front. Woffington has had to work very, very hard here. Andreas Johnson is coming on strong in third place. There's a lap to go. Can the Swedish boy make a move to get himself to the front and get himself to second place?
Well, Janowski is going to reach the final. Johnson is going to have one more go, but Woffington has held a clever line there.
Yeah.
Had to really work hard, and Woffington reaches the final yet again. Good ride from Maciej Janowski there, a super ride from the pole, and Ty Woffington really had to dig deep to see off the challenge of Andreas Johnson.
Indeed he did, Nigel, because Johnson was really fired up there. Quite clearly they'd made quite an extreme setup because the bike kept lurching and lifting all the time. And Woffington, as you rightly say, had to have eyes in the back of his head to hang on to second place. But he's through to the final, and a great ride from Janowski.
Janowski and Woffington into the final, where they will go alongside Chris Holder and Nicky Pedersen, and Woffington and Hancock lead the world channel. Second time of asking, it is the final of the Kjærgaard Danish FIM Speedway Grand Prix. Chris Holder off the inside, Maciej Janowski off two, Nicky Pedersen excluded, and Ty Woffington going off the outside in yellow. Big race coming up then, and now as well it means that either Chris Holder or Ty Woffington will lead the World Championship going to Prague. Greg Hancock doesn't ride in the final. Woffington and Holder level on points in the World Championship.
Yep.
Who will lead going to Prague?
Well, not an easy call. My pick before the night was Woffington, and so far he hasn't let me down. He's just got 4 laps to try and do the business. Coming from the outside, Janowski is a major threat also. He had the first pick here, of course, and chose to go out of gate 2. Gates 1 and 2 have been level pegging in the race wins tonight, so nothing to choose between those two places, with Holder and Janowski in there, those two starting places respectively. Second time of asking the final.
Here we go then. Green light on now, and away they go. And it's a great start from Janowski off gate number 2. Maciej Janowski has the lead, but Holder nips up the inside. Clever move from Holder. Woffington, oh, he can't quite get there. The door is closed by Janowski. Holder's gone wide. Janowski has the lead. Chris Holder is second. Which way will he go? Woffington holds third, and here comes Holder again.
Brilliant speedway. Janowski gets the better of Holder. Brilliant stuff down the back straight. Woffington putting all sorts of shapes and surface. Holder! Brilliant move from the Australian. What a ride from him. Janowski now replaying the compliment around the outside. What a final. Brilliant stuff.
Janowski has the lead. Woffington's not done yet. Woffington tries the inside run on Chris Holder. Janowski has the lead. The young Pole. One last go from Holder. Down the back straight they go. But Maciej Janowski is on the verge of only the second win in his Grand Prix career. It's Maciej Janowski.
What a ride that was, and what a grandstand finish to the night. Maciej Janowski out of gate 2 performs a miracle there. Holder rode brilliantly in second place, neck and neck for such a long period of time in the final. The pole comes up with an outstanding victory. That's a really well-deserved one too, because his first victory, the meeting was actually called short in Daugavpils. Holder rode brilliantly in second place. Woffington just could not find a way through. An excellent night of racing, Nige. The Poles are delighted, and rightly so. That's an excellent win for Janowski.
Yeah, it's a great point you make, by the way. It's his first win in a Grand Prix final.
Yep.
Because he didn't win a final in Daugavpils, as the meeting was called, after, what was it, 20 races?
It was rained off, wasn't it?
Yep. So congratulations to Maciej Janowski of Poland. Terrific result. And Chris Holder now leads the World Championship. Janowski, Holder, Woffington. And it is Holder who leads the World Championship, with Woffington second now. Janowski wins the GP on 16 and Woffington on 15. What a night here in Horsens, particularly for Maciej Janowski of Poland.